Okay, I'm going to let you on to a little secret that I discovered about myself. So it took me a long time to discover this though. So if I ever got into conflict or a situation where I felt like I was about to become tearful, especially trying to stay calm in stressful situations, I would generally just like burst out crying. Like I'd just like be like, poof, my entire persona would just go into kind of like panic mode. And quite recently, I had to stand up for myself and I had to stand up for other people. And this was one of the worst things going because I didn't know what to do. So, a little bit of context. I came from a quality assessing background where I was doing health and safety, which included a little bit of fire safety as well. So basically you had to check the fire exits, make sure they were all clear, make sure that the fire extinguishers were in dates. They actually do have dates on them, some of them. And basically make sure that everything is safe for our employees. So I ended up finding an issue with a machine. This company that I worked for, I won't mention names, faces, or places, but they were very adamant that their health and safety was pretty good. And I remember just sitting there thinking to myself, like, one of your machines is an absolute mess. It's going to cause some issues for employees that are working there. Essentially, it was a health and safety hazard. And it was a major one because somebody could have been pulled into the machine. Now, I won't describe what happened because obviously names, faces, places, stuff like that. I don't want people to come over and say, oh, why are you talking about us? You know what I mean? So let's put it like this. It was a really, really bad situation that this company was in. And I said, like, look, this needs to either be shut down, it needs to be fixed, or it needs to be reported at least to someone so that they can go ahead and fix it. Because this machine was in an absolute state. And usually in a conflict situation, as I said, I would burst into tears, I would be crying and stuff like that. And this time, I don't know what happened, but I just didn't. Usually I would use breathing techniques, but they don't work that well for me. So I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to go over and I'm just going to say my piece. I'm just going to say what I need to. This machine needs shutting down and go ahead and do what I need to do. So I immediately try and calm myself down, trying to bring the chaos down that's going on in my head, kind of pre-predicting what's going to be said. My manager said, oh, no, this machine's fine, it can continue running. And I said, like, look, and I gave her a scenario and she still didn't believe me, you know what I mean? But instead of reclusing and kind of going like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I just kind of sat there and I went, Mrs. Miles, I'm telling you now, this machine cannot run. And I want to allow this to go through this paperwork that I've done for the health and safety. And I do stutter. The health and safety paperwork cannot be signed because this machine is not ready to run. And I'm certainly not forging something that I believe could be fixed. And this woman, she's arguing back and forth with me. Well, I've got targets, I've got this, I've got the other. And I just sat there and I went, I'm not going to allow you to process this. It's a non-negotiable. Otherwise, I'm taking it higher. And eventually, she kind of gave into it slightly, but then she continued running the line and I ended up taking it higher. But within that moment, I didn't burst into tears. I didn't cause, I didn't kick off or anything like that. I just very calmly told her, you need to turn off this machine. You need to leave it alone. I don't know what happened afterwards. I wasn't on the shop floor for the rest of the day, I don't think. But yeah, I tried to stay calm when life was absolutely chaotic. And I think that's the only thing. I think when you're at work and say you feel like you're going to be tearful, just turn around and say to yourself, it's not so much that I'm hurt by what's going on. It's just business. It's just business. Gemma's yelling at me. Gemma over there is yelling at me. She's being an absolute person, shall we say, right? to keep it family friendly. She's been an absolute person with me. She's been horrible. She's been nasty. Take a breath. It's fine. It's just business. Gemma's stressed out because something happened on the floor that you couldn't see. Gemma, I don't know. I wouldn't say that people are inherently evil or inherently nasty. I think that something in the environment has affected them to be like that. Woman that I worked with, she went off at a new person this one day. She was like, "Oh, who do you think you are? Do you not know who I am?" And she's going mad. She's going mental at this new starter. New starter sat there going like, "I've not done anything." You know what I mean? I ended up talking to this woman afterwards, and she was like the nicest person going, and she said she just can't stand how people aren't trained correctly, and she has to go in and train people, although she's not paid to do it. So you can understand the frustration and where that kind of anger is coming from. Does she have anger issues? Yeah. But, you can understand where that anger is coming from. Is it right that she's doing that? No. But at the same time, I think just talking down, not talking down to her, but talking her down is a better option than screaming back at her, because that's not going to achieve anything. If you can understand where somebody's anger might be coming from, then that's kind of a thing. Obviously, if you're in danger from a person and, they are being a dangerous individual, then that's the point where you step back and you let somebody else deal with it, or you just let them cool off for a bit. But staying calm when something chaotic is happening is just something that you need to kind of, I wouldn't say deal with, but it's definitely something that you just need to take a breath, just go, right, okay, this is just business, just chill out. It's fine, everything's going to be fine, and if it's not, take it to the next level, managers, whatever like that, just make a report of it. And obviously if it starts to get physical, then that's the point where you involve the police, or maybe if someone stops you from getting out of a room. I had this at one point. My boss wouldn't let me leave. It's technically false imprisonment here in the UK. Someone's probably going to debate that and say like, oh, it's not, but it is. If your boss doesn't allow you to leave and it's after your shift, in fact, at any point really, you could just walk out. You got free will. But yeah, essentially, I was about to leave work. It was about 2 hours after I was about to leave. 2 hours after I'd finished my shift, so they kept me for an extra 2 hours. I tried to leave, and my boss stood in front of the door and wouldn't allow me to leave. Borderline false imprisonment. It can technically be considered as kidnapping. So, yeah, depending on your laws and where you're from, that is definitely something that I've had to deal with. I didn't stay at that job for very much longer, by the way, because as soon as he closed the door and stood in front of it, I went, my God, who am I working for? And I promptly left. So yeah, that's something to take into consideration as well. Staying calm when life feels chaotic, especially in work. Yeah, it's definitely something that you need to deal with. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.